foremost, what you want to do is you want to measure your level of pain. Is it pain? You have to distinguish it as to whether it is pain or it's just discomfort, because there's a significant difference. Pain means stop. Pain means I've injured something, something is actually wrong, and I need to stop. But discomfort just means I'm not used to it, and it doesn't feel the way that I want it to, and it's not easy, but you can still continue to go because you're not causing any type of injury to your body. So there's a difference, a significant difference between pain and discomfort, and you have to decide which is which first. And if you're just working through discomfort, then you can continue to work. But pain means basically you need to go to a physician, a professional, and get something diagnosed. And if it was true pain, then they will tell you, okay, this is what you injured, and this is how long you should be out, and this is how long it's going to take you to get back on track. So I think when you're pursuing health, that you start with the basics. You know, if you're making healthy choices, of course, it's also going to include the choices that you make as far as what you're going to eat. And starting with the basics would be to try to stay away from foods that are fried all the time, making healthy choices, baked or broiled as opposed to fried. Definitely making sure that you're trying to hydrate your body as much as possible. Your water intake, be very aware of it, whether you've been consuming water on a regular basis and how much water you consume. You need to start paying attention to those type of things. Fruits and vegetables, consuming them on a regular basis and trying to get them in with every meal is very important. Those are the basic things that you start with. Am I consuming fruits and vegetables on a regular basis? Will I stop choosing fried foods, things that aren't good for me? Anything with any type of heavy grease in it, you want to avoid it. A lot of high fat foods, which are going to be, again, your fried foods, things heavily covered with gravies and a whole lot of cheese and things of that nature. We instinctively know what's healthy and what's really not that healthy for us. And when you stop and something in your mind says, you know, this isn't that healthy for you, then you know what kind of choices you're making at that time. So what you really need to do is decide to make the healthier choice and go that route and see what results you get, because most people already know what they're going to get when they don't make the healthy choice. Salt. I would say that monitoring our salt intake is very important. The only issue that happens is people have a tendency to go a little far to the left, going completely from over-consuming salt to not consuming salt at all. That's an issue as well. You know, there is a balance for everything. And to not consume salt at all, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, because the body does need some type of sodium within it. But to consume too much sodium, having salt with everything, that has a negative result as well. So just utilizing and being aware of how much you're consuming on a regular basis, I think that's the most important thing, because awareness has a tendency to make us make better choices. Sugar is in a lot of stuff. We really need to monitor how much sugar we consume on a regular basis, because it's in a lot of things that we consume every day. People have a tendency to choose flavored drinks over water a lot during the day. People have a tendency to choose foods that have a lot of different flavors, and salty and sweet foods tend to be our favorite choices whenever we go out to find something. For so long we've consumed products that are either salty or sweet. We feel that if we don't get that extreme salt flavor or that extreme sweet flavor, then something hasn't been seasoned properly. So you definitely have to monitor how much sugar you're consuming on a regular basis, because it's having a direct effect within the body, and it's very negative. So how much you drink That's consuming a lot of sugar. The food choices that you make, especially if you're getting foods that are already prepared, processed, boxed foods out of the stores, the flavorings in them usually have a lot of sugar as well as salt within them. So you have to be aware of how much sugar you're consuming on a regular basis. And we're not just talking about candy bars out of the store or, just your little pieces of candy that you would consume. We're talking about actual food containing salt and sugar. Well, first and foremost, the temptation is going to be there. You have to recognize and be prepared that it does come down to you making that choice. Okay, someone's not going to necessarily make that choice for you. Different environments that you go around, people are used to you eating a certain way. So when you change it up, people might not be ready for that and they'll question it. And with them questioning that, it has a tendency to make us feel a little uncomfortable. We don't like to stand out for things that we're dealing with personally. So making healthy choices really has to be something, it starts with confidence. You have to be confident that this is something that you want to do. You want to stay on the path. You're doing it personally for yourself. Okay, so you have to be prepared for people questioning how you're eating now, especially if you're making different choices. And with their healthy choices, you have to be confident with the choices that you make. You can't be weak or hesitant about it because people will feel like that you really don't want to do it, and somehow they want to rescue you out of your healthy choices, and that's not what you want. So when you're making healthy choices, just be confident, be cool about it. The words that you use, make sure that you don't say you have to do this now or you have to do that. Make sure you say those are things that you want. I want a salad. I want some fresh fruits and vegetables. I don't want as much starch on my plate. I don't want that size cake. I don't want that size slice. I would like something smaller. And people tend to respect that a little bit more than, you feeling like they want to rescue you out of the jail of healthy eating and healthy living. It's going to work against it. The recreational things, recreational drugs, smoking, your alcohol intake, the amount that you intake on a regular basis, all of that is going to work against it. Only because you're going to be trying to get your body in a healthier state of mind, and those things are going to be toxic to it. So you're not going to get the full benefit of resistance training if you continue to do those same things at that level. But the funny thing is about resistance training, it replaces a lot of those cravings for those things. You'll find that you crave those things a lot less, and that you won't even desire to do those things as opposed to the resistance training as much. So, life has a way of balancing itself out. Definitely walking is the simplest thing that you can start with, especially if you want to start any type of cardio program. It doesn't have to start with running. It doesn't have to start with doing marathons. You don't even have to start with running around the block. Walking, dedicating a certain amount of time of walking. And again, it's starting where you are. If you can walk for 10 minutes, and that's all you got in you, then that's where you start. Don't concentrate on, well, I have to walk at least 2 miles or I have to walk a certain amount of distance to have done anything, because it's not that extreme. It's just starting where you are and then building upon that and having some type of progress. So to be able to progress from walking 10 minutes 1 week and then 2 weeks later being able to walk for 15 minutes and then 3 weeks out of that, 3 weeks from then being able to walk 20 minutes straight, that's progress. And that's what you want when it comes to cardio, when it comes to resistance training, when it comes to anything healthy and living a healthy lifestyle and making healthy choices. You just want to be able to progress along the way. Everything doesn't have to happen at once. You don't have to make a complete overhaul at one time. Don't look at the TV show and say extreme weight loss is the only way to go and everything has to be done to the extreme, because that's not real life. You know, when you're dealing with real life, everything happens gradually, and you have to make those choices gradually. So if this week I choose to drink a lot more water, but I'm still eating fried foods, then next week I'll drink water, and then I won't eat fried foods as well. And then the next week I'll drink my water, I won't eat fried foods, and I'll go for a 10-minute walk at least twice that week. And then the week after that, I'll drink my water, I'll continue not to eat fried foods, but I'll walk for 15 minutes for 3 times that week. So you just build. It's all about building. It's all about different levels, because there's levels to everything.